Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me, your girl, Tay. Hey, your girl, Tay. Hey, back today. Talking about Doja Cat once again because she has finally released her lead single for her fourth studio album. We're gonna go ahead and get right into it. So actually, before we get into it, I want to explain that this right here is going to be more of like a breakdown and analyzation than like a reaction. Like I really want to get into it. If you watch my last video, you know my Virgo, I'm a Virgo sun, and Doja Cat is a Virgo moon. So baby, we like the details. We gonna get into the details today, okay? Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I want to go ahead pause it right here. We see that Doja Cat is kind of just this first few shots and frames is like introducing Doja Cat into fame. That's what the symbolization is. Baby, if you like it, just we try to play it. This one doesn't bite it. So right here, what we have is that during the chorus, it goes to these distorted shots of like black, blue, and red. And the black, I would say, represents uncertainty. You don't know what necessarily you're getting into. The red is for like alertness and danger and anger. Red represents so many different things. So we'll notice throughout the music video that during the chorus, she's going to these distorted images and colors, which is playing heavily in symbolism. I also want to say that I think the crowd is also representing how at first they love you. When you first become famous, they love you. Then when you start doing your own thing or the people feel like you're straying away from what they want as if you own these people, then that's when they turn on you. Let's continue. Yes, the one I got, they really are the best. Now I feel like I can see you bitches is depressed. I am not afraid to finally say shit with my chest. Baby! Hey! Let's get into these lyrics. She says, I read all the comments saying, D, I'm really shook if. Do you need to see a therapist? Is you looking? So I'm assuming that these few comments before we continue, or lyrics, I should say, is addressing the public and what they specifically had to say in regards to Doja Cat's new aesthetics and looks and the choices she decides to make with her own physical appearance. And then it says, yes, the one I got, they really are the best. Now I feel like I see you, it's depressed. Because let's be honest, we all know that once we get help or we took that one psychology class, now we know everything. But on a serious note, I really love the sassiness and the realness of this because what Doja Cat is saying is, I literally have the money and resources and the intellect to know that I should get help myself. I didn't need for you to say that. So, yes, I have a therapist. Like, yes, I'm actually literally, quite literally working on myself. But what are you doing? You're on Twitter talking to me. I see you're not doing the work, ma'am. So you're still depressed. But the therapist is sat here and we didn't talked about my trauma, everything, bitch. I'm good. You're the one depressed. I can say it with my chest. Doja, quit playing with your sassy self. I love you. Bald head match my looking good, but now they all saying that I'm ugly. Boo hoo, my nigga, I ain't sad you won't fuck me. I'm sad. Gotta stop again. We gotta stop again and talk about these comments. Lost a little weight, but I ain't never lost a tushy. Looking good, but now my bald head match my. Hey, you get that thing waxed, Doja. Okay, I see you, girl. Looking good, but now they all saying that I'm ugly. Boo hoo, I ain't sad you won't. I really want to take a minute and talk about this bar because especially in today's society where we're having so many discussions about like the male gaze and not doing everything for men, I really like that Doja Cat is standing on what her choices are against her physical appearance. Yes, she shaved her head bald. Really, if you a bad bitch, you went through a bald head phase. I did so myself back in college. Okay. Anyway, I really enjoyed that fucking line, man. She's talking her shit without the music so you can hear me talk. But you see how we have these very distorted images, and it's like she's in water. We have these images on top of, again, the colors that represent anger, that represent grabbing attention, that can represent danger. Water represents rebirth. This is a whole new different era. It's a whole new different Doja Cat. So what I'm thinking this chorus and the images are symbolizing is like rebirth, as well as stepping back into that character of being famous and stepping back into, like, because now Doja Cat is back. She's been on hiatus on and off, but now she's back and she's having to go on these press tours for this album and do all types of things because that's what expected of her now. She has a whole new project out and coming. To this shot here. Let's go back to this shot here. Because I really want people to pay attention to this Carrie reference. Again, we see red. We all know what red represents in this blood. If you know anything about Carrie, then we know that that was a story about vengeance. That was a story about a young girl who was terrorized by her own community or even the people around her, the people who were supposed to love her and support her, and how her being terrorized ended up making her being the terror. Now she wants to cause havoc on everything because of all the hurt and pain that people have caused her. That's what this shot was. She said, look at me, look at me. I'm naked. I'm vulnerable. She's literally been broken down. Way to go, Doja. I paid all my respect to those who taught me how to make it, and now I reap the benefits with no confrontation. Y'all fell in the beef, but that's another conversation. I'm sorry, but we all find it witty entertaining. I gotta stop again. Let's talk about this line. All right, she says, I paid all my respect to those who taught me how to make it. And now I reap the benefits with no confrontation. Because the media these days are messy. You can't say nothing wrong. You can't say nothing at all. This is why Beyonce don't talk to none of us. Let's talk about it, especially in female rap, especially in hip hop, which is extremely disappointing. We have all seen the mess. A female rap girlie cannot say anything without it being about somebody else. But Doja Cat is saying that right here, I ain't with all that drama when it comes to these other artists. I literally have paid my respect, and we gotta wait till we see the other setup she did. I paid my respect. Who was she paying her respect to? We'll see later. And now she ain't got no beef with nobody. There's no real confrontation because of this. But because of the media and the people, and they like beef, especially they like it when the girls fight. I always reference Lil Kim and Foxy Brown because they were literal friends and the media broke them up. If you actually go do your research, the media broke them up. Y'all fall into the beat, but there's another conversation. The people love the mess. When are we as people gonna stop loving the mess the way we do when it comes to at least the music? I'm sorry, but we all find it really entertaining. If you watch my last video on In Defense of Doja Cat, she literally admitted that the mess is fun. She's a balls to the wall type of girl. And she finds it entertaining. And I think we all do, especially the ones who like get to sit at home and live our regular lives. We can just see everybody in 3D. We don't have to actually be in a mess. It can be very entertaining. And something that will never die in this society is all press is good press. I mean, look at Doja Cat. It didn't matter what she did on that Twitter. She's about to bust 1 million views in less than 24 hours on this video. All right. Last part, last part. Why she thinks she Nikki M? She thinks she hot? I never gave an F. Go stir up the baby. I really love the Nikki M reference. Hello, because we all know Doja Cat love Nikki. So I really, again, the fact that she continues to give that woman her flowers, her big ass bouquet of flowers. Yes, ma'am. This is exactly what that first part of this verse was talking about in setting up. And we can even see her using some of Nikki's like quirks and how she does double entendres with the hot tits. Like, did y'all see that? Did y'all catch that? Let's go back to that. Hot tits while shaking her tits. Yes, ma'am. Double entendre. That's very giving me Nikki. Anyway, let me actually pause this. So we have fire works instead of water, which I think again is like coming back from now the rebirth into this new emerging of her as an artist and her new look and her how she really wants to go headstrong and forward with this, and how that, because it's fiery, it's like an explosion in her. We literally see this in Civilization. Okay, so my final thoughts on this is Doja Cat giving us vocals. That's number one. I know people had their things to say because it was supposed to be a rap and it's 90s, which I get the point. But because the rapping was good, it was so good, because the lyrics were lyrical, we gonna give her that pass. This is like real growth for Doja Cat, because she said herself she didn't like her own singer voice, but we seen the way she was able to catch up with Ariana on We Don't Do Drugs, I Don't Do Drugs. We seen that. We see the vocal progression. She sounds amazing vocally on this track. That's one of my critiques. Um the lyrics are great, very good, because I really appreciate that this is like a complete 180 from what Doja Cat was doing, and she described it as like just senseless or mediocre pop. And I, in some way, agree. Like, I love her, all of her music, but you have to be honest about the fact that the subject matter is not matching with this one. That was cute, fun, and bubbly, and that had a place. But given everything that took place, this type of music that she's doing also has a place. She has things to say and are saying them, and we're listening. The only critique that people would probably say is negative is I did not really